Yo, what's going on? What's going on? Coming back at you with another Nofap Semen Retention motivation video. And today I want to talk about why preventing urges is an infinitely better strategy than resisting urges. So the reason why preventing urges is an infinitely better strategy than resisting urges is because when your main strategy is to resist the urge to not relapse, then your main strategy is having to fight against yourself to not relapse. When preventing urges from happening is your main strategy, then your main focus is stopping the fight before it even happens. And when it comes to things like the art of war, the main goal is to stop the war before it can happen. That's the superior man of war when it comes to the art of war. So we want to stop the urge from happening before it even gets to the point of having to fight. Because the thing about fighting urges, I'm just going to be straight up, man. For most people, fighting urges is going to be very difficult, man. Because the thing about fighting urges is you are dealing with something that is literally so strong that it can make your body literally act on its own while your mind is just watching your body act against your own consciousness. So to give you an example about this, how many people have been sitting in front of your laptop and you're telling yourself, oh, I'm not going to fap, I'm not going to fap, and you feel this feeling welling up inside of you, like you feel like your hands are just about to start typing in the site, and you're telling yourself, no, I'm not going to do it. You might even be praying, Lord, please don't help me do it. Please help me not do this. And then out of nowhere, boom, your hands just start typing in Pornhub. Your hands just start typing in your favorite website, whatever it is, and your mind is literally watching your body act without the consent of your mind. And it's bizarre. It's surreal. You're like watching your hands. Whoa, your hands are literally typing this without your permission. That's what I'm talking about. That's the type of thing that you're fighting against. And it's just like a drug addict. You know, I remember when I was addicted to painkillers, and I would tell myself, I'm not going to use today. I'm not going to use today. And I'm driving home, and then my hands just start turning the wheel and driving to the dope man. And I'm crying out, God, don't let me do this. I'm crying out, no, please, I don't want to do this. You know what I mean? And listen, God can answer your prayers. But in that moment, the urge was so powerful. And maybe I wasn't praying hard enough. You know, maybe that's it. I wasn't praying hard enough. I should have pulled over the wheel to the side of the road. But the thing about it is, when it comes to fighting urges to any sort of addiction, your body can just start acting on its own. So, and that's not to take away responsibility from yourself, but it's to say that's what we're dealing with. You're in a fight, you versus you. And guess what? Most people are not good at resisting urges. That's why it's a better strategy if we can prevent the urge from having existed in the first place. By doing things like averting your eyes in public, by doing things like not going on social media, you know, whatever it is, whatever we got to do. Because the thing about it is, I can count literally on like one hand the amount of times that I have resisted urges for more than 24 hours and it didn't lead to a relapse. All of my streaks, like hands down, have come from preventing the urges from existing in the first place. This current streak I'm on of over 400 days, the first year, bro, I didn't check out any women in public, basically. Maybe after 9 months, I started slipping up, but dude, I was averting my eyes. I wasn't looking at anything. Dude, I wasn't watching anime. I wasn't watching anything that could trigger me. You see what I mean? And I think that's part of why I made it this far. You know what I mean? Now after 400 days, I can look at a beautiful woman and not have the urge to fap. But the thing about it is, my goal is to avoid lusting after women in general, and that's because of my religious beliefs. But you know, that's another story. So, you know, if you can get to the point where you're not checking out women in public, that's the first step. And you can make a habit of this. And listen, I know that it's hard. I'm not minimizing this. I'm not saying, bro, this is so easy, bro. I know it's hard until you master this, but you have to get in the habit of not turning your head around when you see a beautiful woman, because that's going to raise your lust meter up. And when your lust meter gets to the top and it maxes out, now you're in a fight with yourself, like I was talking about in the other video. And now you're going to have to fight against yourself. So you really got to make it a habit of not checking out women in public. That's the easy part. The harder part is the screen, because it's there wherever you go, and you're in your bed and you're 2 seconds away from, being able to fab. So the hard part is the screen. But you got to do what you got to do with the screen too. What do I recommend for the screen to prevent urges? Until you make it past 90 days, man, I recommend getting off all social media. All social media, man. I just joined Facebook like a month or so ago. Bro, it was like shocking, dude, what was coming up in my feed. Like, when you click on like a gallery of like images, like in pornography, dude, and like the first couple of pictures is like the woman still kind of has her clothes on. Like, that's the type of stuff that was showing up in my feed for Facebook, dude. It was like straight up pornography, bro. And I had to like click on like that the area of the post where you can say like, don't recommend any more posts like this, and eventually those stop showing up in my feed. So like, that's what you have to do on Facebook, and you also have to do that on YouTube. So stuff stops showing up in your feed that can cause you to lust. You know what I mean? That's going to be the harder part. Is in my opinion, is beating the screen when it comes to this. But if you can do that, bro, if you can, dude, the whole thing is preventing the lust from happening in the first place, and you can beat this habit like pretty easily, in my opinion. So we talked about the screen. Okay, a couple more things about the screen. There's things that even go beyond the Facebook and all that. When you see a sex scene in a movie start to happen, bro, you better fast forward, dude. You gotta get out of there, dude. You might need to stop watching anime for like 90 days, dude. I didn't watch anime for like the first year. Why am I saying anime? Okay, if you're an anime head, you all know what fan service is. That's one day throwing some lustful stuff with the anime chick. And for me, bro, when I have like an ideation, like nowadays, like I don't really like get triggered, but like if I do, like it's usually from anime, from like seeing some fan service. So like now I can see it and like not like feel the need to like fap. I even saw like a fan service scene where like it would normally make me lust, but like the chick was like, it was, bro, like she like disgusted me. She was like some demon chick. And like, so that means I've come pretty far, you know what I mean, to get disgusted by a anime fan service. But you might want to, stop looking at anime, you know what I mean? Because the thing about it is all relapses, they come from the stimuli. In my opinion, all your fapping relapses, you if you're not exposed to stimuli, if you're on an island somewhere where there's no stimuli, no phone, I mean, I guess, sexual urges can come without that, but it's going to be really limited. Most of your relapses are going to come from the stimuli that you look at. You know what I mean? So the name of the game is avoiding the stimuli. And, a lot of people are going to say like, oh man, you're being too like strict. Oh, you're being too religious. Oh, you're so religious, man. Oh, you this and that. But how's that working out for you, bro? How's it working out for you thinking, oh, man, I can just do it. I can just look at this. I can look at that. Oh, bro. And you're still relapsing. Oh, man. I literally have heard people talk about they're still going on porn sites. And I've seen guys make videos directed at straight up, if you want to succeed in nofap, don't go on porn sites. And I thought that was like it goes without saying, but a lot of people are still doing that, bro. So yeah, we got to straight up, of course, don't go to porn sites. And if you think this is too strict, then like, how is it working out for you? Are you able to succeed? If not, then you got to make a change, bro. And your main change needs to be focusing on, cutting out the stimuli. Because here's the thing, man. If your main tool is resisting the urge, bro, you can have the master tool to fighting any urge, bro. You can have the secret ninja kung fu technique to knocking urges out of the park, bro. But the thing about it is, you still gotta choose to use the technique, man. And for me, dude, I knew about stuff like taking cold showers. I've taken cold showers and felt like the lust go out. I've had the lust shock out of my body from a cold shower. But do you know how many cold showers that I took when I was deep in an urge? You know how many cold times I chose to take a cold shower when I was having an urge? Probably like one time, dude. Because I wanted to relapse. I wanted to watch porn, bro. And so I did, dude. I didn't use the technique. And that's why having all these techniques, and it's good, but if that's your main strategy, bro, you still have to have the discipline to use the technique. You see what I'm saying? So that's why that's another reason why it's a better strategy to prevent the urge from happening in the first place. You see what I mean? And it's just like addicts, a drug addict who's going to AA or any of this, you'll have all the tools to not use. You'll have a support group that you can pick up, call people on the phone. You can go hang out with them and not use, but in that moment, you don't pick up the phone because you want to get high. It's the exact same thing. So, another reason why, and this is going to be a huge reason, one of the biggest reasons why resisting urges is going to be like a really harder way of defeating this is because when you resist an urge, when you choose to resist a full-blown urge, you are going to experience dysphoria. 99% of the time, you're going to experience dysphoria, which is the opposite of euphoria. You're going to have this uncomfortable feeling in your body. You're going to have this feeling like it's just, your insides are turning, bro. Like this, you know what I'm talking about, where you're just sitting there on your hands trying not to fap. You know what I mean? It's very uncomfortable. So you're going to have to go through that and be able to sit through that uncomfortability every single time until that uncomfortability goes away and the urge to fap goes away. So if that's your plan, bro, most people are just gonna be like, F it, and just go fap in that situation. You know what I mean? So that's another reason, bro. And I'm gonna wrap up this video soon, but I just want to say this. It's really not a big sacrifice to not check out women in public, to stop watching twerking videos, to stop watching porn, literally to stop watching porn, literally to focus, to fast forward a movie with a sex scene, to stop watching anime for 90 days, to tell Facebook and YouTube to stop suggesting certain things in your feed. It's not that big of a sacrifice, bro. And if you feel like it's such a big of a sacrifice, what is it even doing for you? What is that stuff doing for you? Does it make you feel so good to turn around and check out a woman in public? For me, it doesn't even feel good. I mean, being over 400 days, it's just frustrating because I'm choosing not to fornicate, I'm choosing not to fap, and I'm choosing not to have a wife, so I'm choosing to be celibate. What good is it going to do to me to check out a woman in public, bro? It's just going to be painful, if anything, dude. So is it making you happy to do all these things that stimulate your mind, that lead you to fap? Do they make you happy? And does it make you happy when you relapse? You know what I mean? Is it that big of a deal to sacrifice these things? And if you feel like it's that big of a deal to sacrifice these things, then, hey, what's going on? If you feel like it's that big of a deal to sacrifice these things, how bad do you want to fap? I mean, so how bad do you not want to fap, bro? How bad do you want to beat this addiction? Because if you're not willing to give up these little things to beat the addiction, okay, then maybe you won't beat it, man. Everything in life takes sacrifice, bro. And if you really want to beat this addiction, you're going to hands down right away sacrifice things that lead to stimulation, that lead you to fat, man. You know what I mean? That's how I have had success. I mean, all glory to Jesus Christ. I called upon the Lord and was saved from my addiction. But now I still have to do things to maintain that, like not checking out women and not doing things that cause lust to build up. You see what I mean? So, you know, if you can do this, like I said before, man, cut out the lust, stop the lust meter from building up, you stop yourself from relapsing, man. It's that simple. So I believe in you, man. I'm gonna wrap up this video. Shout out to person who made this mural. It's beautiful. Hollywood, downtown Hollywood murals. Look them up if you're in the area. You know what I mean? God bless y'all. If you comment, I'm gonna respond. Love y'all. Peace.